In the tournament that is made possible by Mercedes-Benz, Corsair, Monster Energy, and Array Gaming, it is Vici Gaming that moves forward in the upper bracket, while IG drop down to the lower bracket and are waiting their opponents right there. Now here to talk about that third game of the series, and the series as a whole. Still got Moxie, got Lizard, got Grant. Guys, that game started out, me thinking, oh, this is going to be exciting.
It started off well for IG, I believe. So Kunkka did what he had to do. Abandon the lane, farm a little bit. Normal stuff versus the Huskar. You don't want to deal with that pain straight away. Buy your time, wait for the late game, and then deal with him when he's not as strong. But something went terribly wrong for them later on.
And I feel like that's something, I mean, I hate to like pick on one guy, but Fly had a lot of just bad deaths of just morphing agility, getting caught out. Like he just wasn't quick enough on that morph strength hotkey, and it really hurt him, especially he's your win condition.
If you're really to put the blame on anyone, it's a couple of pickoffs on them. There's Fly, there's also Shaker right on the high ground. You know they're coming, you still get caught.
Yeah, right here. There's one right here. He just
that's the morphing. This literally allows them to go into the pit straight up. And then again, here Shaker dies and they go straight onto the high ground to push. It's just... I don't know. Then later on the high ground, you'll see Morphling dies. It's not only that they were picked off. It's with what ease Vici Gaming were doing that. It looked like Dota that was being played like 5 years ago. You know, like, oh guys, I didn't know it's coming. You know it's coming right now. That's the way the game is being played for 2 years straight. So a thing that really missed from their draft is most likely some saves, right? They had a Shaker with a fissure to block the aggressive movements, but it wasn't.
But that's not like a save.
Yeah. What do you think, Moxie?
I think they were very, very patient, too, on the side of Vici. You have this Huskar that, went top. He had an early death, which set him back. But then, he took the time to come back at the items. And when he came back, And on top of that, he had, he had the...
Sorry to interrupt you, Moxie.
Happening.
It's my red button. I'm going to hit it.
I can't.
Hit it.
Hit it, Sheever.
Hit it, Sheeves.
Because Thomas is playing. Oh, it's
who's that?
Look who's behind.
Oh my!
That was not even calling Kara. Hey, dude. Ow. Yo.
Woo! Look at those moves.
All right, he's definitely a better dancer than I am. The panda was still in shock.
Oh, no.
I am going to leave you all.
What's up, guys?
In the capable hands
what up?
of Mr. Rich right here.
Bye, Fever.
We'll watch the monster.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful of that.
What's up, dude?
Nice to see you. All right, yeah, I don't know where we go from here. I actually double-checked, though. He's not actually a farm animal. I wanted to double-check to see if he's a farm animal. What the? Not an actual farm animal, by the way, because I usually like to play with actual farm animals.
Yeah.
But he's actually just wearing a farm animal costume.
Yeah.
But you can't play with him, right? You wouldn't allow it, or what?
We don't really want to allow him to play with Panda, I think, for his own safety.
Yeah.
Sheever's coffee tastes great, by the way. whatever that is. Yeah, you guys have been having a lot of fun, but it's about to get really dirty and
what?
Yeah, it's about to get dirty. We're about to move into the best of ones. How else would you describe it other than dirty, Grant?
Nasty.
Nasty. How would you describe it, Lizard?
Nasty, dirty.
Filthy. Moxie, how would you describe it?
I need an adult.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be grueling. People are going to lose. People are going to go home. And you know what? That's sad for them, but, we got to do it.
This is also kind of the fun part of the day, though, in a lot of ways. Obviously, it is sad to send people home, but just the speed of best of ones is always kind of that fun part of the day when you're not playing in it. Obviously, it's going to be a very stressful situation. We start off with a very good matchup as well. I think that this one is... also, you see a team that's performed very well throughout this tournament. They run in some pretty difficult teams, and now they find themselves here. And we also have a regional battle, Lizard.
Yeah, we have a regional battle. We have our BC versus paiN, right? It's going to be... It's hype. Moxie...
This is the match.
For her, this is the match. She's
Stever talked about like the Super Bowl being for China, you know, last series. This is the SA Super Bowl right now, guys. This is the Brazilians versus, you know, the Peruvians. We've got Lelis,
but we have some
with the
Peruvian
sprinkle. We got a sprinkle. Yeah, we got
I know, this is gonna be so good, and I'm so excited.
I'm very excited for it as well. We're going to talk about all of it and actually get into the action very shortly. We're going to be hopping to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have the Super Bowl coming up after this.
Rick Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
Multiple witnesses have reported mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is
Everybody, welcome back to DreamLeague. We're about to get real funky here right now. I got myself, my name's Rich. Hi, everybody. I'm sitting with Grant. We're about to get ready for a full, 4 best of ones?
Oh, yeah. 4 teams out, 4 teams moving on. Great stuff.
It's kind of, in a lot of ways, the most hype part of the early beginnings of the major. Like, it's kind of tradition. It's always a lot of fun.
Even at TI, right? We have it, like, you know, the players complain, but what do they know? We're here, and we want to see some teams eliminated. The fans at home want to.
What do any of us know, right? I mean, that's actually the thing. It's only chat. I rely on chat. And right now, I haven't figured out where I'm going to put chat to actually read chat. It's stressing me out. I don't know what they're saying, so I don't know what to think. Guys, right now, if you could do us a favor, in chat right now, say something nice about Kyle. So now, right now, we know what they're saying, right? Like, now I feel balanced. I feel much better. I know what's going on.
That's good.
Yeah, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I've seen you. I mean, look at you right now. Look at your clothes.
You like this?
Yeah, I love it.
I really, this one took me a little while to find. And you know what else took me a little while to find?
What?
The perfect guest we're about to have on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the best play-by-play caster in Dota, the most hilarious, funny man we have in the scene, and Fogged. Welcome them to the stage right now. It's OD Pixel and Fogged.
That was a little mean. I don't really like that right now.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, welcome,
man.
You know,
Yes.
I knew you meant me at the beginning. A play-by-play, funny. That's clearly me.
You were my first friend in Dota.
Yeah, and we were our first enemies at first as well. Before Dota, though.
We were enemies before Dota, then friends, and then enemies shortly after.
How are you enemies? What happened?
I didn't. Okay, we were supposed to like have a hotel room like near the airport, and I called them because I was gonna like check in late, and I called them. They're like, "Well, your roommate already checked out, so there's no room for you."
I needed the hotel room for something. So, where's that panda? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I needed the hotel room, so thanks a lot for that. You were fine. You were fine. You were playing Dota.
I was at a LAN center.
I didn't know. I didn't know. And speaking of not knowing things,
yes,
you guys are the ones that actually know things. So let's start to talk about this series just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
This one's obviously very exciting. We have that regional battle going on. We were talking about it before the break. Moxie went as far as to say this is the Super Bowl for the region.
Oh, yeah.
We'll run with it.
Yep.
Let's actually break it down just a little bit. Let's talk about paiN, because I feel like this is the squad that some people might have a few questions about.
I think so, especially considering obviously the road that they've had so far to get it. They had a couple of series, didn't go great. Did manage to take a game off Liquid, but overall losing to Liquid, losing to EG. I think losing to EG, you don't want to get too hung up about. EG's obviously very, very good at the moment, so that series is kind of whatever. Yeah. So you look at the other one, they took a game off Liquid. So I think, if anything, there's something good to go by. You look at sort of the stuff they're picking. They're keeping it sort of meta, pretty sensible. They've got a great Slark player, and hey, Slark's pretty hot at the moment. So
yeah, it is.
There's a lot of reasons to sort of say in this matchup, going from what we've seen, paiN have got a pretty sensible approach to the meta, and it's looking pretty good.
Well, you heard it from OD. Let's actually take a listen to what paiN had to say.
Confiante, já é um adversário que a gente enfrentou para vir para cá, então a gente conhece bem o time, a gente está se sentindo bem confortável. Acho que não sei se poderia ter o melhor confronto, mas a gente está bem confiante nesse jogo. Não tenho nada contra os meninos, pelo contrário, acho é super gente boa, a gente conversa, a gente brinca, mas vai ser uma experiência diferente, né? Jogava com eles, foi meio difícil. Eles evoluíram muito desde a época que eu saí, então são um time completamente diferente, mas vamos ver no que vai dar, né? Tô ansioso.
So instantly you're going to hear some of the stuff that's going on in a region. They've obviously played against each other a whole bunch. They know each other on a personal level, and that's going to have its effects on the draft. Two teams that definitely know each other very well. And let's take a look at what's going on. It's already underway. Anything you're really looking for early here, Fogged?
I mean, Lich. Lich is definitely going to get picked up early. Best lane secure in the game. It's either your Lich or your Disruptors, and both are in the pool. So we're probably going to see the 2 best 5 positions being picked up, one for each side.
And look at this, an Enchantress first pick, right? We were talking about like only NAs picking it. Obviously, if you play NA pubs, you'll know, SA, they love it. SA and NA pretty much are the same pubs, so you're going to see the same meta. And you got a PL. I mean, you've got HFN. Like, this man, he might just hit 1,000 GPM this game and knock him right out, right? You never know.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about PL and all the reasons that we are seeing it so much. I feel like we haven't really dived into Ench nearly as much. Grant, what is it about Ench that we're starting to see it way more?
I think her in-lane, right, it feels like it's a laning, I don't want to say a laning meta, but it feels like the laning phase is super, super important. And Chandra's now at level 1 with that 8%, the impetus. You do so much harass, you right-click. Not only that, you can dispel, right? These embers can't lane against you, stuff like that, and it's extremely hard to go against.
Now, obviously, we have plenty to talk about in the draft, but I do want to just give a quick little breakdown of everything Beast Coast has been able to do at this point. Obviously, best of ones here. One of these teams will be eliminated from the tournament. This is the first elimination matchup that we are going to have. And Owen, I think we should break it down because they've had a pretty good run already.
Yeah, I mean, they had a tough group, right?
The hardest group, yeah.
They had the group with Secret and Vici Gaming. They had to play both of them with the path that they took. But they had a great series against Chaos, and they were doing stuff that was a little bit different. They were picking like the Abba carries and stuff, so that's why for me it's a little bit of a surprise to see Beast Coast to go this time around. Instead, we are going to play PL, because that was something that they were sort of not really doing in the group. Yep. I think it's great, because I think PL, without a doubt, is the best carry at the moment, so I'm totally down with them picking it first up, but it's just interesting to see them take this approach, and also kind of relieving that it's not going to be something again like the second pick carry Abaddon, because that obviously didn't start to work out as well as it did for them against Chaos in the later series they had against the stronger team.
Question, why didn't you guys call me dumb when I said HVAN was
playing? I didn't want to call you out.
I swear the team
didn't want to call you out.
I looked and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a dumbass. Wait a minute.
Wait, who did you say?
He said HFN when he said
I thought you said Hector was playing.
No, I said HFN.
Oh, my brain took it as Hector.
I don't want to call you out, Grant.
Well, they are two of the best carries in
They're two of the
They are probably the two best, maybe ever, honestly.
Who would win in a fight?
If we think about it, yeah. Wait, what?
Who would win in a fight?
Hector, I think.
He's scrappy.
In a physical fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I literally just I took it as Hector because I feel like they're both. I mean, HFN gets more involved, but they're both very farmy. You know, they're very farm-esque players.
Yes.
So, but it's a very different opener than I think that we probably expected. Like Bloodseeker, sure, it's a hero that's kind of popular, but it's usually picked pretty much for the Slark. A lot of the times, it's popular versus a couple other things, but. Yeah, definitely different.
Also for paiN, I believe they played as a 5 more than as an offlaner, and I'm curious if that. I mean, it's tough to open at 3 and your carry, so we'll see if they do switch it to a 5.
I think you're right. I think you're right for sure. Interesting these are the bans as well. I think good prioritization here from paiN, taking out the Bat Riders and such. Beast Coast, you know, Lelis, who's been standing in for them, he has been a boss on the offlane. Even in the games he was losing, he kept up solidly in farm. I think you want to heavily target his pool. He's still got some good options to go by, but taking away like the Omnis and the Bat, great start for paiN.
Especially if you do want to even try to run Enchantress as a core hero. If you do want to run Enchantress as a core hero, and you have a, you know, you're playing against the Bat Rider, you're just in a lot of trouble.
Am I crazy?
What?
Don't worry about it, Grant.
Production! I'm a professional. I'll call them out. You got the teams the wrong way around.
It wasn't me! It wasn't me!
You were right all along,
he was looking at the other screen. I was literally, I was going to talk to him. We have all of this high-tech equipment so we can sweep stuff underground. Do you guys know how much I fuck up? And now you guys are going to just instantly start by calling. I have this secret button. I was going to push the button. I was going to be like, hey, I think we might have this one mixed up. Let's just,
but I looked dumb, Rich, not you!
And then I was gonna come in with some poop joke, and then everybody was gonna be distracted, and then they were gonna do a close-up of my face, and then when we came back, it was just gonna be switched, and nobody was gonna notice. And somebody in chat was gonna say, "Oh, look, it's switched." And I would just be like, "Shut up, Kyle," and then we were gonna be fine. And now Owen just threw it out the window.
I mean, you're right, Ray. This makes so much more sense. You see a PL, you think HF. As I said, you see a PL. It was like they've not been doing that.
Really doesn't play
that.
Okay.
But this is
that's good.
Production says maybe the teams are sitting in the wrong seats. You know, they're trying to cover for themselves.
That's the thing. That's why I had to double check. You never know what's going on. At least I don't. I think I've proved that time and time again. But let's keep moving on through here. Let's talk about the
Sand King. if they're picking Sanking, help this man. Do not leave him alone bottom. If you're sending him to the off, we saw with Chaos. You cannot leave Sanking alone. If you put this hero alone, he is going to feed and pretty much have no game. You have to help this hero at the start of the game.
Yeah, but I believe in Lilith. As I say, he's been playing fantastically on the offlane. I don't think this man's going to feed.
But one or two sentries and you can't solo. That's right. You have to have
it's
solo.
like you buy a third sentry. Well, the thing is now also, the problem is you can also buy individual dusts as well, which is amazing. It's 90 gold instead of that 180, which used to be like pretty annoying.
Costly, it hurt.
You can just go for these kills pretty easy on Sand King. So, but I don't think, like you said, Beast Coast, I don't think Schofield will do that. He's going to be playing around him, making sure that Lelis actually has a game.
Yes. Okay.
Depending on what hero he is.
Oh, yeah, because you're saying now it's Beast Coast, what you think Lelis and Schofield Sand King?
I mean, it's possible, right? Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a Stinger Wrench, 100%. Now that it is on Beast Coast, I will guarantee it is a Stinger Wrench because he is.
But now it is definitely the 5-end.
Yeah, it is. Even especially with the Rubik. But Stinger is like one of the only 5s, along with I don't even think Fly plays it anymore. Just Stinger. Man, this is an aggressive lot. Beast Coast has already shown like we have to win the first 20 minutes of this game, or we are in a lot of trouble.
We've talked about that with this squad time and time again. Have they deviated from that plan much? I got to watch most of the games from my hotel room because I wasn't at groups. I was just watching you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely I could have been more focused at moments. Do we see a deviation from this game plan from Beast Coast at all?
Not especially. I mean, they've been playing a little more late game, but you still have Hector's hero just 4v5 and let him do his thing, right?
Yeah, he's going to be happy this game too, right? He's versus a PL, so immediately Radiance is already good for him. So whatever hero he plays, the Radiance is going to be nice.
And they did these sort of drafts where, I want to say at least in 2 of the games of the groups where they were doing it around the Bloodseeker. I think even maybe 3 games they were doing like these drafts around a Bloodseeker core. So very much something that they're familiar with.
What are they looking to grab in their last pick? Any boxes unchecked?
Oh, who's still available in the pool? What you're looking for?
PL things.
Something
right?
else
things to do with the illusions. That's why we see the Lash ban from paiN.
Yep.
I think that was a really good option that Beast Coast could have.
I hope they don't. I've seen him actually do the Wraith King into PL where he does a Radiance Battle Fury build, and it wasn't. I mean, they lost, but I wouldn't say it's the worst. I mean, it's Hector, right? Like you never count him out on that hero. I don't like it here though. So I hope they don't.
What do you think? Play carry Ricky.
Oh, I believe so. I think everyone on NASA does now.
That is the hidden counter
plays
here. You know, if he goes Diffusal Battle Fury Ricky this game.
Dude,
that is, I mean, that is true.
But versus Vano.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Wait, so you guys are saying Bloodseeker mid then? Or you mean Bloodseeker safe lane?
You're right.
Because then otherwise, I think something like a Monkey King can work too. That's a hero that can kind of deal with illusions. They did it earlier.
And Chris Luck
loves the Monkey King, right? That's one that's kind of looking pretty decent.
Watching Chris Luck on Monkey King is so much fun because he's in there on the middle lane. He's diving the tower.
They just banned a Zeus. That makes me feel like Tinker or something
or
might
TB
come out.
or something.
Nah, Chris ain't going to play. He's not Tinker player, is he, Chris?
Well, it could be the Bloodseeker middle.
He's
they go Wind Ranger.
He's going to go Wind Ranger. Okay, wait, but the Zeus ban is interesting to me then.
I guess just he's going super glass cannon and doesn't want to die to 2 nukes.
I mean, Zeus is pretty good against these squishy heroes like the Ench and the Wind Ranger, right? You know,
not in lane, but in the game,
for
sure. It's
not
real good in the game.
Because, you know, Wind Ranger's not going to be buying any tanky items other than a BKB, right? You don't buy any sort of HP or stats on that hero, so you always have that flat, very squishy HP.
Yeah, and Chris Luck was the one at TI who went brown boots, MKB only. Didn't even get the Maelstrom, didn't get anything, just went first item MKB. Just,
That's why we love him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why
the aggression, he lives and dies by it.
So paiN, what are they going to grab here? Well, still looking for their mid, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got Tiny Tree, Sup, and
Veno in the offlane, yeah. Huh.
Want something to be like something that can also move around with the tiny.
I want a bit more catch. How about the Kunkka? You know, a bit of a grab, you know, a bit of a setup. You're sort of catching out these Bloodseekers, Wind Rangers, slamming them down with the X combos.
Bog, how do you feel about Kunkka?
I thought the Kunkka was
this is
nice.
obviously more a comfort for paiN.
Not going to have much. I mean, you're going to be really relying on the 3 middle heroes on the side of paiN for BR playmakers. PL and TA do the same thing. They go and they hit jungle creeps for quite a long time. So that's a little bit of a strange one for me.
Beast Coast, this could be This could honestly just be a steamroller. Like, if Beast Coast wins their lanes, it's going to be like a 25-minute win.
But I love these. PL and TA seem like really good heroes. I know you say you're going to be the jungle, but
the laning, if they win.
It's a Hector to Bloodseeker, right? He's going to be in the jungle. You know, sure, he may get involved a little earlier, but he's still going to be pretty farm heavy.
He would be.
I think they can get away with that greed, paiN.
He was pretty aggressive when he played the Bloodseeker the other day, though.
But they did lose.
Did they end up losing that game when he was Bloodseeker?
I think that was the game, because I think he only picked it
so,
against like Secret and Vici. Obviously very tough matchups.
Okay.
Fog, it sounds like you're believing in him, though, the Bloodseeker.
I think I'm believing in the pace they can set. I think they have to kick up the pace, though. I think if they even slow down at all, or if they do poorly in the lanes, then I think paiN they take over this game, because they have so many space makers for the TA and for that PL. I mean, with the Veno and the tree, they just take up a lot of the map to, like, pressure, at least, and then that leaves a lot of space for these two to farm.
Keep in mind, it's a best of one, too.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're playing a draft like this in a best of one.
It's scary. You have to execute, but they did it at TI a lot. I believe in them here.
I doubted Beast Coast when they had a little bit of an unorthodox draft last time, and it's not that unorthodox this time, and it fits their style. This is a run-at-you draft.
I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket of HFN PL. I think PL is the most busted carry at the moment, and I think HFN's got enough power to do it here for paiN.
How do you get through the lanes, though?
I think you sort of just hope that, Mr. K1 Hector is a little more focused on the farming and less on the fighting. Because as these guys say, sure, if Hector's ready to go from the start, it's going to be hard for them to get that sort of space. But if he gets sort of sidetracked by the creeps and he's like, oh, I could do a Midas, or, if he gets too farmy,
no Midas,
it's going to be good stuff for paiN.
All right, well, I'm excited for this one. Keep in mind, folks, one more time, this is a best of one. It is all on the line here. This is going to be our first elimination right after this.
Everyone, we were enjoying watching Rich getting spun around in a chair.
Yeah,
but this is
very
no
mesmerizing
time.
watching Rich spin.
It really was. But this is it. This is elimination time, best of one, paiN Gaming versus Beast Coast.
I'm just gonna chill, Mox. Tell me all about these two teams. Tell me, this is the El Clasico of South America. That's how you called it, right?
Well, I don't know necessarily if it's El Clasico, because Beast Coast is newer onto the scene. But these
but
players,
two strongest teams, more or less, right?
Yeah, they are absolutely. I'm really excited. We've got Mandy on his TA, which he is very well known for. It's probably his best hero in the mid lane. Interesting to see how it's going to match up with Chris Luck here, for sure. But then, we've got Hector on that Bloodseeker. And he is just, I know how he plays. He's going to be super aggressive. It is important to note,
He has
though.
to be, right? He has to be super aggressive because he's playing versus Mandy TA, like you mentioned right now. Mandy TA, and also versus a PL. And Stinger is being stung by King RD right now.
Yeah, they're going for that tri-lane top here. There's only so much that you can heal, so that is going to be the first blood going over to King RD.
Yeah, Enchantress in that position is very easy to take down. She doesn't have Untouchable any longer. She has that heal to work with, but these heroes just hit too hard, so it's not easy for him to stay alive on that lane any longer.
Now, is it more likely that we're going to see this Wind Ranger be more active? Because we talked about the Templar Assassin wanting to kind of hang out in the jungle and hit a bunch of those creeps. Are we going to see more of a rotation?
Definitely, it's the way the hero works. Like, you have the TA just stacking and farming, meanwhile Wind Ranger is trying to make plays, right? So, and that's pretty much what the playstyle of Beast Coast should be like in this particular match, because they need to shut them down early on. They need to just win the game early on because we have all seen this PL and what this hero does later on.
And it's not just, PL as a hero is very, very, very strong, but you also consider the fact that if HFN gets uncontested farm, this guy's just going to go off. He is one of the best farmers, in my opinion, especially, in South America. He's not,
You're a fanboy?
I am a fanboy. Fangirl, yeah. But, he is up there in terms of, farming quality as well as Hector.
I mean, he's been around for a really long time, and we know why he's picked up by good teams all the time. 444 will fall.
I don't think they're going to be able to do anything else to HFN. He does have a healing salve on him, but...
I actually like the Sand King pickup here quite a lot versus the 3 and versus the PL. I believe that hero does very well versus them. At the moment, Sand King isn't truly a hero that's picked up quite a lot. You want those sustain offlaners, right? He's not as favored as before. But in this particular match, he definitely does the job.
Well, it's nice too when it's paired up with the Rubik as well. You've got a little bit of a setup if you want to go for it, and it puts them in a nice position. Usually, I'm not super fond of the Sand King in this current meta because there's just so many ways that you can put pressure on him, knock him out of that sandstorm. But in this case, like you said, it does seem like it's going to work out quite well.
With the Rubik, with the Fate Bolt, you can deal with the illusion.
Focus lock. 14 hit points.
Yeah, he has. You see the train of couriers.
You see though, somebody's trying to intercept it. You can see Dunao. Dunao wants...
Oh, one. That's
he's just going to go get himself a kill.
See though?
5 hit points, I don't know.
Outplayed. Meanwhile...
Just outplayed.
Yeah, meanwhile 3 and dies bottom, but Dunao...
I think they can still make moves on Chris Luck if they want, but looks like Mendy, is he going to get aggressive? The toss back, right next to the tower again.
He has been run against, so you can't really go any longer. Perhaps with the Psyblades, but very unlikely. So far, PL is farming all right on the bottom lane. He's finding space, but meanwhile his Treant is dying all the time. He's suffering. He's the one absorbing all the aggression from the Sand King and the Rubik.
Oh, we lose Hector's courier. That's going to set him back quite a bit here. I like the way that paiN Gaming's playing. They're being very, very aggressive. Chris Luck having to pop the wind run.
Chris Luck is being dominated here a little bit right now.
Top lane, they will find the kill on Dunao. Go over to Hector. It's funny because I saw the Tiny coming up here, and at first, because the names were switched up, I was like, oh, Schofield Tiny, he's going to be so aggressive. But Dunao also a very aggressive player.
Usually you do expect Schofield, right? We've seen him on that position 4 Tiny before when Tiny position 4 was picked every single game. Like he used to just change the pace of the game completely on that Tiny. And the thing is, in this particular game, Dunao has to do the same exact thing because PL and TA, the one thing that these heroes do not do is fight early on. That means that the Veno 3 and 10 Tiny will have to do a big chunk of that job on their own without those 2 big cores, unless TA goes for something like a dagger, which is unlikely. This lane, like Bloodseeker versus Venomancer, it looks like it could be decent for Veno, but if there's bloodshed across the map and that Bloodseeker gets his third stacks, Venomancer can just disappear.
Well, that's one of the perks of the hero right now is how often Skirmish Blood Right's going to be placed. King RD's going to sidestep it very easily, though. He's going to try to get protected here by Dunao. You see Stinger putting out a couple of these hits. I don't know if he has quite enough damage. He's going to get slowed down just a little. I don't know if Stinger can reach it. No, he's going to have to turn back around. Throughout the net, the bottom lane, the 444 will get taken down yet again.
He's having a really difficult time down bottom. It's also very strange because Treants are usually winning lanes. They're not supposed to be feeding as much as he is, but that's just because of the Sand King and the Rubik combo. And here we see Hector falling to the Veno and Tiny.
That's got to be such an uncomfortable lane to have to deal with.
Enchantress isn't really your classic support on the safe lane. It isn't your great position 5. It doesn't offer you too much unless you're playing versus some Darkseers or Chris Luck.
He's dead. He's just dead there. paiN Gaming have just turned up the aggression, and I like it. This is how you need to play, especially, against a team like Beast Coast when they go for such an early, aggressive style.
I mean, Moxie, you don't even have to be this aggressive if you're paiN Gaming, but if you're killing them, great. Even better.
Absolutely. Try to turn back around. They do have the Rupture online. King RD, he does not have the mana for the TP. He is going to get taken down. Hopefully they'll give the kill over to Hector. Yeah, that's going to be a kill.
And the courier.
Get the courier to boot. So.
Bonus right there. So, do we have a silver lining for paiN Gaming so far? All their cores are kind of on a similar net worth right now, but it's not really going that great for them. Sand King on top of the net worth charts. So many times that 4-4-4-3 and died on the bottom lane that he's just having a blast. And that Sand King, at the same time for beastcoast, can be one of those heroes that just completely dominates the mid game and sets the pace of the game if he has a good start. So it can be really scary for paiN.
See a little bit of trading in that top lane. Bottom lane again, looks like they made some moves on HFN.
Yeah, already that veil completed on Lois. He's just having a blast here. And there we
the
go.
Fade Bolt to boot.
He used the Salve, but he had Thirst on, so he had vision for the Fade Bolt. Instantly removed it. And now they can continue the pressure.
Middle lane, looks like a gank's going to be thrown out over onto Chris Luck. They'll get the Avalanche, but he's going to be able to survive. At bottom lane, though, they find the kill on HFN. It looks like they're going to lose 4-4-4 again, unless they don't go for the dive. Looks like they'll back off, get a kill on the courier instead. That is the boots for 4-4.
Man, it's jungle time. Like, if you're this PL right now, it's jungle time for you, boy. You can't go back down bottom.
King RD again just getting chased down. This is a speedy Bloodseeker. HFN making a rotation now to the top lane. Chris Luck, how fast the tables are just turning on both of these teams. That power shot connecting on Mandy, and he's just out of here.
Yeah, he outplays him there, and very well played by him.
Lelis, he's able to hide himself away. Now has the living armor on him.
They have detection? There's a dust?
They have it. They should be able to get this kill on Lelis.
Yeah, Rubik already went back, so that Gale was safe. There was no one to deny him. They get a really good kill. I like this rotation from the Veno, but now it opens up the question, where is PL going to farm? Is he going to go top? If he is going to be top, he's going to be playing versus a very farmed Bloodseeker who's top of the network charts right now and is out-leveling him by quite a lot. Did he forget the tree?
Is that yeah, that's...
He just went for the courier, right?
That was Hector's Mithril Hammer right there. Yeah. That's going to send him back a lot.
Yeah, he's most likely rushing that Maelstrom build. Yeah, he's probably going for that, and that does set him back quite a lot.
Bottom lane does feel like they want to keep putting pressure on the tower now nearby.
Exactly. They want to start putting pressure on this tier 1. They want to take it so that this Sand King can start rotating across the map and creating space, right? But the Venom is preventing that.
Rupture is going to get used again on the tree, and they should be able to find this kill very, very easily here. Be another kill for Hector. Tried to get the neutral kill, wasn't able to. Mandy hiding out in the mid lane.
He's just creating space. He's not feeding. It's just space creation, right?
And indeed it is. They have a toss here for Chris Luck. These couriers are just dropping like flies. Those are right back again. Wind runs back up though. Chris Luck says better luck next time.
It took him so much time to get that toss off that the wind run was back there.
Oh, HFN, he just cannot cut a break. There are 3 heroes up here in the top lane. Another Blood Right getting placed down. It should be able to sidestep. It's going to get chased down by Hector, and he's just toast.
Yeah, there was absolutely no one to help him. Tiny was too busy around mid, I suppose. Treant was most likely dead, as he always is. Very unfortunate for the PL. But if you're paiN Gaming, you have to cut your losses and realize that one of your cores is going to be very weak in the mid game after this laning stage. And it's probably the best for PL to be the one, because he catches up and he has a very late power spike. So it's better for your TA and Veno to be strong in the mid game, because these 2 cores will get you to that late game. It's basically how Dota pretty much always has to be played right now.
Well, it's all about the trust, right? I think I had this conversation with Lacoste at one point where he was saying, you know, even though that, hold on to that thought, right? Here, Dust gets used over onto Mandy. He's trying to find the kill onto Schofield, but...
Oh,
he had the toss-up coming out from Dunao.
What did my bro Lacoste say?
Your bro Lacoste, we were talking about how, you know, you have to trust your team. Because, all right, you're not having a great game right now. Your lane is really just awful, but you have to sacrifice it for the hero that's going to come online first, right?
Yeah, because he was usually the one that everyone sacrificed, so he has to tell you that. So, of course. Makes sense, lol.
Shout out to Lacoste.
Yeah, love you, Lacoste.
So interesting, we've seen so much brawling, but we haven't actually seen towers getting picked up just yet. And again, it is only about 11 minutes in. HFN, he just can't do anything, although now making his own rotation. Schofield is going to be able to go and grab himself up a spell. More help is on the way, coming out from paiN. They'll get the toss-up over onto the creep. Schofield is now caught, and Mandy's coming in for a kill. This should be easy for him.
But look, Mox, they just killed the Rubik, and look at how much map is opened up for Beast Coast at the same time. Chryslak is just attacking this tower for 30 seconds right now, brought it to 50% HP. These rotations, they're great. They get the Rubik kill, they save the PL, but it's not what you really want to be doing if you're paiN. You'd much rather be farming with this TA right now.
We also have to bear in mind all the outposts going and getting those taken up, but yeah, it definitely feels like there's just so much space right now going over to the side of Beast Coast. And it was weird, right? Because, you know, the laning stage, I would say, was pretty firmly in paiN Gaming's hands early on, but it just changed so quickly.
It just changed. It just changed so quickly when the tree died 5 times.
Yeah.
And PL had to rotate to the offlane.
I don't think HFN is going to find a moment of peace. I think he's just constantly going to be pressured, and that's how you need to play. Same thing going the other way towards, you know, HFN. Chryslak. This is that focus fire. It's going to be another steal. Got some nice rewards. Oh, now what was he doing?
Well, he was trying to get closer to Chryslak to toss him back, but the ulti was still on top of him from the Wind Ranger. And a couple of Maelstrom procs, and he's just dead. Yeah. And look at these Maelstroms. You have one on the Bloodseeker, you have one on the Wind Ranger. These heroes should scale fairly well, but they still have to press the tempo. They have to continue pressuring them, because later on, PLTA, they definitely look like a little bit stronger duo, of course.
Yeah, PL's struggling. Look at Hector's net worth right now. He's at 7K. You've got 3.7 over on HFN. That feels bad.
Yeah, it's still super early on in the game. It's about the Veno and the TA. I think these two cores should be the ones that we look at right now. PL isn't coming online anytime soon. As long as he doesn't feed any longer, as long as they don't pick him off too many times, he should be fine just AFK farming. But oh no.
Oh,
he just went
there's
here.
An epicenter.
Oh,
This is going to be a solo kill for Lelis. HFN, he's trying to run away. Uses the whale. No, look at the TPs, and they immediately cancel them too, so they know that the map is more open.
Lelis, if you buy that whale, I guess he has had this whale for such a long time, he forgot to use it a couple of times. That has to be it.
That's gotta
because that was a kill. With the whale, that's a kill. I love how at the end he's like, oh yeah, I forgot this.
Oh, that would have definitely. Oh, yeah. Mandy, though, he has to pop that refraction. Blood rights down, plus the shackle in there. That's a very, very dead.
Oh, this is it. This is the chaotic Beast Coast that we saw the day before, right? They just crush you with these aggressive movements, with this aggressive playstyle, 14 minutes around. You can see paiN Gaming, they're just crumbling. I don't think they're going to find the space to come back into this match if Beast Coast just continues doing this.
I mean, 14 minutes and 10K net worth lead, that does not feel good right now.
That definitely doesn't feel good.
Yeah, you know, and it was interesting because back when we were doing the major qualifiers, right? I was doing some casting on my channel, and paiN Gaming took the first spot for the major. So I was coming into this match and I was like, I don't know how this is going to end up, you know, feeling during all this. Looks like we've got a little bit of a replay over here, though. So you can see Chris.
Yeah, you can see Tiny. He goes back in. He tries to toss Wind Ranger back.
The Wind Ranger ulti.
Yeah, but the ulti is still on him, and he's like, oh shit, messed it up.
That's unfortunate for sure. Good aggression, but
they don't look too happy, do they?
No. Well, I mean, they're focused, Lizard. They're in the zone. They're thinking about what they need to do.
I was never in the
You look happy when you're super focused?
Yeah. I smile when I'm focused.
You really?
Just grinning.
That's creepy. That's very, very creepy. But yeah, you know, again, this is, you know, Mandy's best hero with this Templar Assassin, but it's also one of those heroes that if it starts to fall too far behind, right, it's gonna end up becoming more of a liability. So we said, you know, watch the TA, watch the Venomancer for sure.
Watch the TA and watch the Venomancer as they feed, because that's what has been happening so far. I mean, they're having many problems across the game. The Veno had a decent laning stage, but I have a feeling they're just going to be collapsed upon in the next couple of minutes. It's going to be difficult for them to create enough space for PL and TA to get what they want. Like, the problem with PL and TA, they are two cores that are stronger later on in the game, right? But they need so much. TA arguably you can go for the Blink Dagger, but if you go for that Blink Dagger, you aren't farming afterwards. And if you don't get a couple of pickoffs, you just fall off. And they already have one core that's Dumpster, that's PL. They need this TA to work, and I don't see the way to make that happen, but I'm always happy to learn.
I mean, that's definitely for sure, you know. The TA and the PL on paper should work because, you know, you have someone who's going to be creating space, it's going to be tempo controller, but it always depends on if you win your lane or not. So if you have two lanes that have failed, I wouldn't say the top lane necessarily...
It went back and forth,
but they
didn't win it. But they definitely
awkward.
didn't win it as well.
Yeah.
It's not like they crushed it. It's not like the lane went the way they wanted it to go. They did kill the Enchantress a couple of times, but that's nothing.
This is the case, though, like you said, Beast Coast has to, you know, put on the full acceleration, start taking those objectives, use that advantage, because as it gets later and later, you are going to start to run into issues.
I mean, it's difficult. Every single lane right now has a hero that's able to just stay alive long enough on the side of Beast Coast for his teammates to come over, right? And if you try to make a numerical advantage on one side of the map, Beast Coast should have enough time to respond to that. So right now, if you are paiN Gaming, you just have to strategically outmaneuver them.
Let's see if they're going to be able to execute that plan here.
Yep. Bellis, you have to use that Veil next time.
The smoke coming out from the side of Beast Coast. Looks like they're going to try to clean the jungle. They know HFN is farming. They don't really have... They have some vision over on the side, actually. They do have it on the eye spot, so...
Considering how well their laning stage went, they don't really have aggressive wards. They haven't invaded the Radiant jungle, and they didn't put too many of these aggressive wards that will allow them to hunt. But they're hunting!
Oh, look at Chris Luck. He's found himself a Phantom Lancer.
Use the Veil!
Up over to tree and get that burrow
He
strike.
used it!
And there's the tips coming out in classic South American style.
Yep.
Toss up coming out. Stinger's just going to try to heal himself out. They'll use the overgrowth just to kill the Enchantress. I don't know about that. In comes Chris Luck already. He's running his way over there. He wants a King RD. He's not going to be able to find it just yet.
I think this is one of the worst. Oh, don't know.
That's a rock that is just hemorrhaging. He's just going to go try to TP out. Should be able to, no problem.
I think this is one of the worst lineups to kill an Enchantress after level 6 right now. They literally have to wait for PL.
Well, he used his Veil Lizard, and that's a dead Mandy in the mid lane.
That was too easy for them. Picking off that TA, I don't know what he was doing, why he just walked into them the way he did, but sorry, misclick. Tell me, expert analysis when it comes to mind games.
Sure,
on the
it's
South
definitely a
American
misclick.
teams.
Definitely a misclick.
Definitely, right?
Definitely. Again, HFN is not going to find any space. They just hunt him down, right back in. Nice dodge away, but it's not enough. Lelis is just running away with the game right now. Top lane, Hector is helping out a little bit. Looks like Stinger's just going to sprank on out here. Turns back around with that impetus. Can they get the kill onto Dunao? Beautiful shackle, plus a power shot, and one tiny boop coming out.
Look at that. They're going at the PL on the mid lane. At the same time, paiN Gaming, they're like, all right, this is our strategy. They kill our PL, we try to kill their position 5. As 3, and they fail. And there's enough time for Beast Coast to come around and punish that movement. It's a rough spot for paiN Gaming right now.
Definitely is, and this is an elimination match too, so you've got to be feeling that pressure right now. This is to basically, you know, it's the spot.
I actually forgot it's elimination in the middle of this match. I'm like, all right, they can think about the next game, but there's no next game for them.
No, and this is the chance to represent South America in the Leipzig Major.
All right, so what do? You spam your snakes on the high ground, you get the repair kit, you heal it with 3
Oh, what chance to walk into a tiny right there.
Yeah, but you can see, like, just 2 minutes ago I said they had no aggressive wards. Look at the map now. They have these 2 observers on the left and the right side of the Radiant jungle, and you just can't leave your base. You can't leave your base if you aren't smoked as paiN Gaming. And that's why TA is just all the way around. You see the triangle, she's just farming away. Everywhere else is not safe for her.
There's no place on this map that's safe for any of them. You know, how many times has HFN just walked outside, hit a camp, and just they show up immediately?
Yeah. But I love Mandy's resolution and his mindset. He's just farming wherever he can. He understands that this game is just almost over, but he isn't giving up at all. He's just giving his best.
They're already putting up those Serpent Wards, trying to keep some vision, obviously, and also just keep them off the tower for as long as they can. But I don't know. Look at Chris Luck. He's got a haste rune. He's looking for Mandy. Does he have? No, not going to be able to get it.
Nighttime, sadly, for him.
Very good for Mandy.
Yep. Who also almost has his Desolator completed. Especially now when they saw the Wind Ranger rotate towards bottom, they open up a little bit, they go outside of their base, but they have to be super careful. By the way, nice item to get, Ring of Aquila, and a pretty nice item to get to boost them up just a little bit at least. They need any help.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I was going to say, you know, what tier 2 items do you think would give, you know, paiN Gaming a little bit more of a chance here against Shackle?
I think they got him. They got the Aquila, they got the Philosopher's Stone as well. You already have to be thinking about super late game if you're paiN Gaming, and these items definitely do help out. Well, Aquila helps you out right now a little bit, but Philosopher's Stone can help this Treant get at least to 2,000 net worth in the next few minutes.
Well, we have the Diffusal Blade that is completed. Oh, Imclaw, that's a nice pickup for the side of East Coast here. That's one thing
That's
I really...
a great pickup.
I like about Hector here, the fact that, you know, he's in the jungle, but he's also very, very active early. And I know that's something that Grant was saying earlier, watching the other teams. It's like, okay, they found their minutes. When did they find it? Like 15 minutes in? Because they just weren't spending any time in the jungle. But they're doing both very well. Now over, caught. They're going to throw back here onto Chris Luck. Can they find the kill? There's going to be ultimate coming out from King RD. And they've got the overgrowth dropping down that blood right. So a couple more hits here, but they do manage to take down Chris Luck. Hector wants in. He wants King RD. He needs one more hit, and he'll find it. Schofield gets the kill on King RD.
Yeah, but if you're paiN, you're super happy with this. You just raided your offlaner for their mid, and you're super far behind. You're 16k behind 20 minutes in. You're satisfied with that trade. And also, you were just speaking about Hector and how he has to be aggressive. In that exact moment, he was a little bit too busy hitting creeps in the jungle. And by the time he rotated, the Wind Ranger was already dead. But they have to at least respect paiN Gaming a little bit. They have crushed them in the laning stage, but there's still some firepower left in paiN Gaming. They still can take down the Wind Ranger. She is squishy enough.
Oh, for sure.
But
for sure.
The BKB is coming up very soon. Wind Ranger should have it in one item, I believe. Look at that, almost use completed on Rubik. Rubik with Imp Claw, just running around, normal stuff.
Just a classic day in SA. But no, like you said, I think part of that was the fact that Donao was just in that perfect position to be out of position, so to speak. I don't think they were necessarily quite ready to go engage, but BKB getting picked up on Hector too. This just became much harder for the side of paiN Gaming, if it wasn't already difficult enough.
That's what you're waiting if you're Beast Coast. You're waiting for BKB on Bloodseeker, BKB on Wind Ranger, and you're pretty much set. You're ready to go. At the same time, if you're paiN Gaming, you kind of want that Blink or BKB on TA. I don't even know if Blink is much of a help. I think he needs BKB as soon as possible.
He's got that queued up, I believe, as the BKB next item.
So Mandy will be going for that BKB, but it's going to come much, much later. Yeah, 19 minutes, fastest time on a hero, 9 minutes.
That feels bad. But you know, props to Mandy. He's still got his eyes on his prize. He's getting these items. It's just very, very difficult. And fighting at a choke point does not seem like that's a great idea. And they can't just creep. There's going to be the Rupture coming out. K1, he's ready. They have the TP, they have the lift. And that's a dead Mandy. And that's immediately going to turn into an objective. You can see paiN Gaming. They're all running to their high ground.
They have everything they need. They have the BKBs. They just made the pick-off on the TA.
Look how fast HFN just, he's melting. They're chasing him right back. BKB comes out from Hector. He wants this kill. He's going to go all the way to the fountain to get it, and he'll find it. They'll turn back around. 444 will fall. Epicenter gets used by Lelis as he chases down King RD. They're just running all over them, and look at that, 40-something hit points. This feels like a massacre.
This looks very rough for paiN Gaming. Literally reminds me of one of my ex-teams.
I'm sorry to bring back trauma in your life.
I'm traumatized.
Oh no.
At least it feels a little bit better just watching it from the sidelines, but yeah, Beast Coast definitely performed so well in this game.
They look like they came very prepared today, for sure.
Yeah, this aggressive style that they have really suits them. They just run across the map in the enemy jungle so early on. And for that to happen, they need to win the lanes, and they definitely did have a very, very good laning stage. paiN Gaming, they did draft themselves a little bit in this. They did get pretty much 3 very greedy cores, and now they're paying the price for that. They need to find a way to get to the late game, but they are already one side down. And
I mean, it does help that they have, they have the Venom Wards right for high ground to try to, push them back a little bit. You have the living armor that you put on the towers, but they deal so much damage. Like, you look at Hector's net worth, he's 17K right now, as opposed to HFN, who's 7K.
Those Venom Wards and Treant armor, they help out when you're setting up for a defense, right? You know that they're coming, you start spamming Venom Wards, then you start spamming 3 armor, and you delay the push, and you try to nuke them down and just repel them away. However, when they take down your TA so close to your high ground, they just collapse on your tier 3s, and you don't have time to respond with Venom and Treant.
Did she go for the Blink Dagger?
Yeah, in the end.
She went for the Blink Dagger.
Mandy bought the Blink Dagger in the end.
Thoughts?
But it just feels a little bit too late. You can see that Bloodseeker has that Manta as well as the BKB, so you can't really control him. The Treant isn't going to be nearly as effective as a few minutes ago, as he can either choose BKB or Manta out of all of his spells, and then he's fine.
It's outpost time. Chris Lucky is trying. This could be a good pickoff. It's going to be the Aegis getting dropped. The rest of the team, though, showing up. The blink away coming out from Mandy. He's trying to run himself out. He's going to throw down that sentry ward. He turns around. He just tries to man fight, but they're going to be able to get the shackle off. And just Hector comes back on in and says, I'll take that. Thank you. Lelis playing a little bit with the side of paiN Gaming here. Is going to get hold out to place. Goes for that epicenter. And he's just going to get beat down. So might end up actually falling. He's taking a lot of damage, though, from all 4 of these heroes. He is so
Bloodseeker is coming.
Oh, he's coming. Lelis, he will eventually get taken down, but in comes Hector, and he's a speedy boy. 444 gonna get chopped down into pieces. They're going right back in. Look at this Hector. He wants King RD. Nothing's gonna stop him. He goes right in there. Does need to back up, though. We'll drop the blood right. HFN, he's getting blocked. Can he get himself away fast enough? These Mjolnir procs coming out. There's gonna be the taking down. HFN.
Give him a rampage.
They're giving it. There it is. There's the rampage.
Then they call
Beautiful.
the GG straight
after. The GG comes out. Beast Coast looking beastly in this best of 1.
They just did what they do the best, right? They went with this super aggressive playstyle, and they picked the heroes to perfectly complement that. The Bloodseeker plus the Wind Ranger allowed them, after that good laning stage, to just completely collapse on the side of paiN Gaming's side of the map. Also, that Sand King, they just dominated PL plus Treant too hard. I believe that was one of the fastest whales that I have witnessed, and when you get it that fast, even if you don't use it a couple of times,
you're still hung up on that one time when you could have solo killed him.
It's super effective. I mean, I'm not really hung up, it's just funny, but because he had the kill there, but overall he played really well on the Sand King, created a lot of space, and all their 3 cores were very well farmed, and yeah, it's so difficult to play TA plus PL versus such a lineup.
Yeah, it's got to be feeling pretty good right now for Lelis, considering that he is the sub-stand-in. But unfortunately, that means we do have to say goodbye to paiN Gaming. They are going to be eliminated, but Beast Coast is going to keep going on. And do we know what the next matchup is going to be?
We probably should know.
Probably should know. We should probably look that up later. But no, it's a very impressive game coming out from Beast Coast. They really stepped it up. They put that momentum going, that aggression.
They performed the same way they performed versus Chaos, right? In that first game, when they just collapsed on top of them so fast. If they play this fast tempo, it doesn't look like many teams can match them.
No, it's looking very, very good. So we will be back with more elimination matches, but we're going to take a short break, and we'll see you then.